for them to for them to care nothing about the life that they took supposedly over a bag of potato chips. And I have to be completely honest with it. You know, we don't make people respect us, so they don't respect us.
You know what happened the next day? They found him rolled up in a gym mat with all of his organs missing. So vengeance is, guess what? The destruction of our enemies. I don't care about one store. Everybody who is afflicted, the people of God, which are you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, I personally want God to destroy. Thus saith the Lord.
So now I got another question concerning the unification. What does real unification look like to you guys? What does unification look like? Where does it start?
Well, um, that's a question, I'm sorry, an answer that the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey gave us the blueprint for. Our slogan, one God, one aim, one destiny, race first. What unity looks like is just by our nature, I respect you as my brother. By our nature, I respect women, other melanated women, as my sister. There are 6 principles that I myself live my life on: respect, love, communication, trust, loyalty, and honesty. So, as a people, if we all innately represented those principles, there is nothing that anybody could say nor do that would allow me to go against you as my brother.
Let me clarify my question just a little bit. In terms of this situation here,
Mm-hmm.
what does unification look like?
Unification
Like
looks like
what should we as a people do exactly about what happened to our brother Twan?
in 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 everything I said, it goes to, again, because I totally understood what your question was.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to just that. We must be loyal to one another. We must be loyal to the family in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
They're not my family by blood, but in all actuality, they are. How can we have a situation going on like this and other people in the community drive up and still go in and support this gas station? It's unacceptable. So, unity in this situation looks like supporting this family,
Hmm.
whether we knew them or not, standing up for this family, whether we knew them or not, and holding each other accountable if, when that gas station, because that's what they're fighting for. They're fighting to get their business back open. Right now in the court system, they're fighting to get their business back open. So unity looks like, if we see somebody, because everybody doesn't know this story, and we cannot hold people accountable for what they don't know. But unity looks like, if you see someone going in this gas station, you let them know, brother or sister, they just killed a melanated man in this gas station.
What was your dollar?
That's right. That's what unity looks like, is standing up for each other, regardless. To me, that's what unity looks like.
I remember uh, back in school they taught us about the turbulent '60s and what happened down south, in which uh, the brothers and sisters they came together and they put together a boycott. It sounds pretty similar to what you're saying. Like, okay, if y'all not gonna treat us correctly, we gonna unite, and we not going to get on your buses at all. We gonna hold our dollar. We gonna we Today, this is my question, Brother Joel. Today, with all the separation in the black community, do you think something like that is still possible?
It's very possible. Uh,
And what type of things should we be boycotting?
we should be boycotting any people who disrespect our community. This is the time when we can no longer, as black men, especially black men, sit back and let the women lead the way. We should be beside our woman. We should be speaking up. And we should understand that we are the only people in America that are not empowered.
Mm.
And meaning, yes, we may have personal empowerment. You may have a degree. You may have a good job. You may be a successful business person. Self-empowerment. But as a people, we're the only people in this country that are not empowered.
Mm.
And what that means is, in order for us to change that, we have to recognize that we are the ones that have to stand up and make that change. That we have the power to do so in Christ to make that change. We cannot sit back and continually think that we're poor or that we do not have the power to make the change. We have to understand that we have the power to make the change, but we cannot be blessed or make the change if we're not doing anything, if we're not coming together under a common objective to bring about change. Most people, and when they come to this country, they have their language, they have their culture, they have their like experiences. So they come here empowered. We have to put that foundation in place, and how we do that is by simply coming together, working together on our common denominators, and then we begin to love and respect each other, and then we can come into Christ together. We can become one, but we must follow the examples of building a strong foundation for empowerment.
I like what both of you just said. Sister Shabazz stated that the unification and holding our dollar back to let them know, a show of force, that we not going to tolerate being murdered. And the empowerment through nationality, through knowing, through cultural experience, we can do that if we unite. So my question to you, Captain Mathias, far as uniting and showing a unified front, what does that look like biblically? Like,
Yeah, definitely. You're saying some good stuff. Both of you are saying great things. But there's something that you stated in regards to the other nations when they come to this country. You stated they have their language, their customs, their heritage. They get to bring that into the country. Let's take a page. Let's flip back a few pages. When we came here, we had our language stripped from us. We had our heritage, our customs, our way of life. All of that was stripped from us. So they always tell us to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. How can we? How can we do that when everything we ever had, which was our power, was taken from us?
stole our boots.
You stole everything from us. But the other nations, they got Chinatown. You have here in Detroit, you have the Arabs. They got their own communities. But when it comes to the plight of the black man, you can't compare our struggle or what we go through with these other nations. Why? They know who they are. You can ask someone from Germany, where are you from? Germany. You can ask someone from Poland, where are you from? Poland. But when it comes to the black man, they say, oh, I'm from Chicago. I'm from Detroit. No, you're not. Remember, our forefathers were brought here on cargo slave ships. And I just wanted to make that comment based off of what you said, because that was a very heavy statement. So knowing that we are a people without an identity, you understand, but people without a heritage, which goes back to power, we have to come back to the true source, as you said, under Christ. Now, watch this. In regards to the unity piece, in regards to our action, in regards to this situation, we're going to go to the book of Psalms, the 42nd chapter. Now, check this out. With our brother, Twan, right? Is this the first situation in Detroit that happened like this? Absolutely not. Is this the first situation in Georgia that happened like this? No. Is this the first situation in California? No. This has been going on for the last 400 years. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand. If you want to show a force of unity, if you want to show a force of boycott, keep God's commandments. That's all you got to do. People don't understand, coming back to your true power source and following the principles, living by righteous principles, right? Honesty, integrity, things of that nature. You don't even understand. You don't have to go to Webster. You understand? You could go right here to the KJV and apply God's commandments, and by you reforming your life through your power source, Jesus the Christ, the Black Messiah, by default, you are already up rising against the evil powers that be. Because I'm telling you, for someone to chase somebody down the street, that's evil. We just got to keep it real.
Yeah.
You understand? Killing our brothers in the streets and taking pictures and standing over them, that is evil. We have to acknowledge what's been taking place. But I want to read this real quick. Psalms 42 and start at verse 2.
Psalm chapter 42 and verse 2.
Watch this.
My soul thirsteth for God,
Mm-hmm.
for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God?
So it says, our hearts, you understand? We thirst after God. Our hearts, we cry out thirsting after God. Why? Because we see our family members get killed in the streets. We see misjustice. We see redlining. We saw Jim Crow. We see all of these things that's against our people. Read on. Watch this.
Verse 3. My tears have been my meat day and night.
Right. Why do we cry? Because of these situations like Twan happen every day. Okay, read.
While they continually say unto me, where is thy God?
Where's your power? Meaning what? They're going to continue to do this to us as long as we don't tap into our power. Who are they? The other nations. And that's another thing that we have to get to. I heard in that video the sister said, just by closing down that store, that's a step to peace. Wait a second. By that one store closing, all of this is going to go away? It's not just about one. You touch one, you touch us all.
Right.
It's not about just one. Kendrick Johnson down in Valdosta, Georgia, happened in 2013. I don't know if you're familiar with that story, but he went to school and he did not return home. Why? You know what happened the next day? They found him rolled up in a gym mat with all of his organs missing. If we close down one store, how is that peace? That's a case, that's a cold case. So we got to think about this. It ain't just about one isolated incident. It's about a nation of people that's been catching hell for over 400 years. Now watch this. Read verse 4. Watch this.
Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
When I remember these things.
When I remember these things, all of our sorrows, all of our tears about things like this. Watch this.
I pour out my soul in me.
Come on.
For I had gone with the multitude.
Mm-hmm.
I went with them to the house of God.
So meaning what? When we see stuff like this, we got to come to the house of God. We got to change. It's not about yelling in the streets. It's not about rioting, tearing up our own communities. That's not the way. Okay, we got to go to the house of God with like-minded individuals that want to get right. Read, watch this.
With the voice of joy and praise.
Mm-hmm.
With a multitude.
With a multitude of people, black people, the Israelites, read.
That kept holy day.
That kept what?
Holy day.
Now here's the thing. Here's a kicker. You've heard of holiday season, right? What do you think about? You think of Thanksgiving. You think of Christmas. All of these things like that. Where do those things come from? It doesn't come from the Bible. In fact, the Bible tells us not to keep these days. Thanksgiving is honoring and commemorating the genocide of the Native American Indians who are our brothers and sisters. Christmas is a pagan Babylonian holiday that God tells you not to celebrate. So what does this mean? When we see these things, the Lord said we cry out and join together with those who keep Holy Day. What's Holy Day? Passover.
Right.
The Feast of Tabernacles.
Right.
God says to commemorate and keep those days. Guess what? By keeping the days that God ordained, and we read about them in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, by default, it ain't just about boycotting one store. Think about of every black person in the United States of America, stop celebrating Christmas.
Right.
That's unity. That's power.
That's a heavy point. That's a heavy point. We help because I believe looked up a statistic. They say we spend what trillions of dollars.
There you go.
In the black community.
We spend the volume of nations on that Christmas day, but if we kept our money to ourselves, that would make a global impact.
There you go.
That's capable to make the fall of the stock market.
Brother Sampson, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
So, in regards to what you just stated, the whole system will feel it. Not just this one store owner. The whole system who supports the same actions as the store owner.
Mm-hmm.
We, a lot of times, because of emotions, we think one-dimensional. We think about us. It's not about one individual. It's not about one family. It's about the nation. Okay? I know my brother also mentioned about some of us may think we're poor. No. If one of us is poor, that's one person. But it's not about one person. It's about a nation. So if you may not have the financial means, guess what? The other 10 do. I can't, but we can. We have to get on that mentality.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.